What's up, guys? It's Dylan, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different here. I'm going to be doing a voiceover, workout I already did, and in this video I'm just going to be explaining the workout as I'm doing it. But since I'm not doing it right now, and this video is filmed in the past, I can do it with better thought, and I don't have to be out of breath while I'm doing it. So this video we're doing today is an at-home workout. It does require a pull-up bar, something to do dips on, and some weights. So starting off, we're going to begin with the pull-up. So as you can see here, I'm going to show it from two different angles so you'll have the time to look at it. Basically, with a pull-up, you want to, my bad, this is a chin-up. There is a difference between the pull-up and the chin-up. I call them pull-ups, but they're really chin-ups. But chin-ups are the ones where your hands, the palm of your hand is facing towards you, and a pull-up is the other way where the palm is facing away from you. So in this video I was doing chin-ups, but basically what you want to do when you're doing chin-ups is you want to take your time, go all the way down and go all the way up. You really want to get that full range of motion. Try not to swing. If you do it with momentum, it's going to be easier. And you want to just go nice and slow all the way down and then pull all the way back up. He can keep control of it all the time. I realize this might be difficult for some people if they're new to it. If you have to sway to start off, that's not bad, but try to move away from that as time progresses. Or there's also a chin-up or pull-up assist. The one I'm using is not. This is just a free bar, but they do have certain pull-up or chin-up things where you can make it a little easier, or you can use a friend if they want to try to hold up your legs to make it a little easier. But moving on to our next exercise, we have dips. So the one we just did was chin-ups. That's going to be doing primarily your biceps and your back. And one more thing I forgot to mention, this is primarily an upper body workout. The chin-ups are going to be targeting your back, your biceps, and a little bit of the abs. And the dips you're seeing now, they're going to be targeting mostly your chest, getting a little bit of triceps in there. So after I finish these dips, we'll move on to our next exercise, which is just a straight up bicep curl. Now, as you can see, you want to try to keep a straight back. This isn't the weight I normally use. I'm currently using 35s in this because this is the biggest I have at my house. These were just the biggest ones I had, the biggest ones I had access to at my house. But what you can do is, if you don't have the ones you normally use, or you're usually using a heavier weight, you can do more reps, which is what I do here. So I do more reps since I'm using a lighter weight than normal. So basically, you can think of it like that. If you want to do a lot of weight, you do fewer reps. If you want to do a lower amount of weight, just try to keep the volume the same by doing more reps. So we're doing some biceps here. You want to try to keep your back as straight as possible. If you're not standing up against a wall, it's going to be kind of hard. You're going to cheat a little. This is going to be primarily focusing your biceps, obviously. And when you cheat a little and bend your back, you're going to be using a little bit of your back as well. So pretty self-explanatory. Just try to keep good form. Take your time and nice control. So moving on to our next exercise here, we have the concentration curl. Now, normally in the gym you would do this with like one bar and both your hands would be on at the same time. I'm doing it with dumbbells, one at a time, and I'm just using this little stand to use for the concentration part. So basically, I'm going to be doing 6 of these on each arm. With these, you can't cheat. It forces you to use your bicep, so it's a lot more difficult. So I'm doing this for 6 reps. 6 reps is a good range to increase your strength. 10 is a good range just for muscle growth, but I'm sticking with 6 here. This is a good weight for me. I struggled with it a little bit towards the end, but the reason why this is more difficult than your typical bicep curl is it isolates the bicep, and it's the only muscle you can use. That's why it's called a concentration curl. It concentrates all the stress onto the bicep, and you can't really cheat with your back. So just definitely take your time with that, and remember it's going to be a little bit more difficult than your typical standing bicep curl. Alright, so moving on to our next exercise here, we have a shoulder exercise. You raise these in front of you like so, and to the side. It's pretty self-explanatory, and this is going to help you get those big shoulders. Your deltoids will get a lot bigger from this. Great exercise. You really don't want to use a lot of weight for this. This is a difficult exercise to do because of how far away you're holding the weight out from your body. The further away from your body the weight is, the more it's going to weigh. So like I said, you really don't need to do heavy weight with this. So not much more to explain with this one, but just start light and work your way up. Alright, next exercise is going to be a tricep exercise. Basically, just do what you're seeing here. Just make sure you keep good form. Try to keep your back as straight as possible. You're just going to lower it down and pull it up. Try to keep your elbows in. I was doing kind of poor form in the beginning, but I remembered and I started correcting it during the middle. But you just want to try to keep your elbows as close to your head as possible. You just want to keep it in and really focus on the triceps. This is a really good exercise for that. So moving on to our next exercise here, we have shrugs. This is going to be working the traps, which the traps are the things right above the delts that connect the shoulder to the neck right there, as you can see. You should be able to see them flex a little bit while I'm doing these. But you do usually a pretty high volume of these with a decent amount of weight. They're not that hard of an exercise to do. Just make sure you're keeping good form. I try to keep, try to put your shoulders behind your neck, kind of see how I'm bending back. So you can get nice, because the trap is behind you. It's like on the very top of your back. So you want to put your shoulders behind you so you can get the full range of motion on the trap. So just think about sticking your chest out and putting your shoulders a little bit behind you and shrugging up from there. Alright, so moving on to our next exercise here. This is another shoulder exercise. This is similar to the shoulder press at the gym, except I'm using free weights for this. So with this, you just want to start with it parallel with your biceps, and then you're going to twist it up so they're perpendicular with your biceps as you raise them. You do these one at a time, or you can do them at the same time. I'm doing them one at a time just to focus on form. But this is a great shoulder exercise. They also have a machine at the gym for this. But yeah, so moving into our next exercise, we have some leg raises. This is really going to focus the abs. This is another thing similar to the chin-ups. You want to try to not use your momentum as much. You want to bring it up to the top, bring it down, wait, and then bring it back up, so you don't cheat and use any momentum. That's going to help you get the best results. So with these, just take your time, make sure you're breathing well, and just make sure you're not using momentum. That's one of the biggest things with this exercise. This is a really good exercise for the lower abs as well. So definitely try to do that one if you can. And this one, we're doing a slight little variation of this. I don't know the exact name for this, but basically you're just raising your legs up into a ball. I'm doing it regular, just straight up, and I'm doing it to the left and the right. The left and right is going to be targeting the obliques respectively for each side, and then the middle one's just obviously going to be capturing primarily your lower abs again. Yeah, this is just a great exercise. So what I'm doing is I'm doing left 1, right 1, up 1. So that's 1, those 3, and I do that a total of 10 times. So it's a total of 30 times raising your legs up, and I'm doing that 3 times 10. So yeah, so I'm doing 3 of these equals what? 3 equals 1, so it's 10. It is a long exercise, so it might take a while, so it might be a little difficult to begin with. You can take your time, work on it, work your way up to it. And with a lot of these on the bar here, it could be difficult for some people, especially the chin-ups. Like I said, you can work your way up to it. Same thing with the dips. They also have assists at that for the gym. So that's about it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I should be getting back into the gym soon. I've just been really busy recently. But that's about it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and peace out.